Hey everyone, so welcome to another video, and I am here with my big inspiration Durianrider, and I have asked you to send me some questions for this interview, so let's roast him. So why do you think that you and Frehley are the most hated YouTubers?
Why me and Frehley are the most hated YouTubers? I think because we are the most opinionated with a large audience. We get often over, I don't know, about 4 million, 5 million views a month. Frehley's 10 to 18 million views a month. So when you get that much exposure and you're opinionated, you're going to polarize your audience. People are going to love you, like really, like, oh my god, I've been inspired by you, or they're going to go, you infuriate the fuck out of me, like you're scum, go and die.
Yeah, I really think that there's nothing in between. Like, people really either hate you or love you. There is nothing like, oh yeah, Durianrider, he's fine. Yeah. It's like, oh my god, I love him, or it's like, fucking hell.
People are either going to travel all around the world to go and see us in Chiang Mai, or they're going to come here to try and destroy the event. Like, that's when you're having impact, is when you're polarizing your audience by sharing what you feel needs to be shared. By you helping people, if you're not polarizing, then you're not really reaching much audience, in my opinion.
So another question I have for you, why do you think that so many fellow YouTubers threw you so quickly under the bus during the drama with La Vaciel?
Dr. Evil, I think there's one reason is haters are going to hate, and if they see an opportunity to, like, you know, just give you a hit while you're down, or look like you're down, they'll just try and do a little sucker punch. And then you got people who genuinely get hoodwinked. Like, there's people who donated money to some random Dr. Evil guy on the internet to put me in prison. Like, and he hasn't even done any follow-up of what he's done with the $6,500 US.
Exactly.
Like, people have already, it's only been 1 week, and people have already forgotten about it. They're like, where's the money, bro? Like, what did you do with it? Like, that's how dumb people are. So some people are just gullible and they get hoodwinked, and some people are just legit haters, and they're like, they're just gonna hate. And
I just think that, like, after a few months, no one's gonna even know that he ever existed. He's just gonna disappear from YouTube.
Yeah, he'll stick around. He'll be like low level. Like, you peak, and then you fade off, because he doesn't, not he, but a person doesn't have the substance. It's like stealing a car. Like, when I was a teenager, you know, people go and steal cars, steal Mercedes, steal a Porsche. They get that peak, but they don't have the skills to sustain having a Porsche. They can obtain the Porsche, but they can't sustain the Porsche. So you can obtain YouTube hits by flaming people, flaming us, but if you go back to your normal thing of just being you, no one cares because you're boring. And that's why I had to flame us, because otherwise no one really cares about what you got to say. And that makes you angry that that's the truth, so then you lash back at us.
And a lot of people also say that you, by saying that he's a pedophile and stuff like that, you damaged his reputation. But to me it seems like, what kind of reputation? Like,
well, I said I regret what I said, I apologised for what I said, and I deleted what I said. And I said that only a little private, little Instagram for his friend or whatever, so being a pedo made along, whatever. And then later back for that was too much. I deleted it and apologised. But no. No one, Vegan Gains, he didn't mention that. No one mentioned it. The haters didn't mention it. So what Dr. Evil did is he blew up what I said and shared it all over YouTube. So he made it public. I didn't make it public. I made it pretty private on just his little friends list, maybe 2 or 3 comments. But then he ran with it, took out of context.
Exactly.
He was playing the game. He was using the art of war, the passive-aggressive technique, and I fell for the bait.
And it feels pretty amazing to me that everyone in the vegan movement just forgot so quickly what everything you and Frehley, like, has done for the vegan movement. Like, they forgot, like, so quickly, and just after one mistake, anyone can do one mistake.
Yeah.
And they completely forgot that you have made millions of, like, hundreds of thousands of people go vegan. They completely forgot about it just after doing one mistake. Like, no one is perfect.
I mean, if you think how many millions of dollars we help generate in the vegan community every year, like, we are the biggest, proponents of veganism and that's the internet. If you're not the internet, you're not really a proponent. You're like old 1994 technology. So we get the most monthly hits, which therefore means we're the biggest activists on the planet right now, which means we generate more income into the vegan world. So for people to forget that and knock us for me getting angry at 2 AM writing a Facebook comment, just means they're really fucking dumb or they're a hater. People, it's funny, isn't it?
It's very funny.
But I was like that when I was a teenager. You know, my mum like raised me really well. She gave me food, she gave me a place to stay, and I'd go shopping with my mum, and I'm like, I want those Nike shoes, and she's like, you don't get Nike shoes, you don't deserve them, they're too expensive. And I'd be like, fuck you, mum, blah blah blah. But I've forgotten what my mum done for me the last 17 years of my life. Just in that one night at the fucking sports store on a Thursday night at Marion Shopping Centre, you forget everything that they've done for you, and you just. So I don't take it personally when haters hate. I understand that, you know, it's just human nature.
So another question I have for you, why do you promote vasectomy so much?
Why do I promote vasectomy? I think it is the best form of contraceptive if you are in a relationship with someone, and the pill is quite toxic. It's a known carcinogen. The IUD can be dangerous. The Mirena IUD, very dangerous. The implant rod, dangerous. I don't recommend using hormones for contraceptive. I do recommend a vasectomy. The tubal ligation is what some women do, but there's complications more with that because it's more internal. But the scrotum, the testes, they sit outside the male anatomy. They're a lot easier to do surgery on. The vasectomy is like, so many surgeons know how to do it.
The recovery is much faster.
It's very, 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 very quick. I had a vasectomy in 2005, 11 years ago. Best choice I ever did because it gave me life clarity, it gave me life direction. With Frehley, it gave our relationship a lot of clarity because when we first got together, she was like, oh, you know, I want to have kids, so you've had a vasectomy, I'm not too sure. And I'm like, no worries, mate, no big deal at all, yeah, cool. And then the next day, she's like, actually, I thought about it, like, yeah, I'm living too much in the future, I want to be in the present moment. And now Frehley knows that if she had kids, she couldn't live the lifestyle she is now, so she doesn't regret that at all.
And do you know anyone who had vasectomy and ever told you that he regrets it?
Never. On the internet, some people say they did.
Yeah.
But are they real people? I've never had someone in the face say, I regret having a vasectomy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And how do you even know that they actually had the vasectomy? Maybe they're just trolling. And...
Yeah, you don't know. The internet's a weird place. So I would also say, people say, but you get a vasectomy, what if you regret it? And I'm like, what if you have kids and regret having kids? You know, like, you can, vasectomy reversal most likely, you can't reverse having kids. So think before you fuck. I do recommend a vasectomy. Guys, get a vasectomy. Yeah, like, there's enough people on the planet. There's plenty of single mums out there. In every community, there's so many single mums out there, and single dads as well, who are overwhelmed with the responsibility of being a parent. Not only that, but being a single parent in today's world. It's hardcore. So let's not breed any more babies. Let's just help the mothers and dads out there today who have children.
And especially like when you want to be a vegan parent, it's like 100 times worse. And I don't think that people really understand how much time and money does it take to raise a child into this world. It's so expensive.
I would say, in my opinion, this is gonna, a lot of my friends don't like me for saying this, but my friends understand who I am. I would say, guys, it's unethical to have sex with your girl if you haven't had a vasectomy, because you're putting her at risk of pregnancy. It's unethical to do it, in my opinion. Leave hate comments down below. And I tell my close mates, I'm like, man, you've got to get a vasectomy. You're causing your girl too much stress. And when she's stressed, you can't enjoy sex as much, and then she puts that on you, and you're fucking up your relationship because you haven't had a vasectomy, because you're like, oh, I'm not too sure, oh, it might hurt. It doesn't hurt, it's a bit of discomfort, you know.
And I know it from my own experience. Like, now when my boyfriend had a vasectomy, I'm just gonna be so relaxed, like, and I'm gonna enjoy the sex much more, because even if you enjoy it in that constant moment, you still have it in your head, you know, what if might get pregnant?
What if the condom slips, or the condom breaks, or the thermometer wasn't working properly?
You can't enjoy the passion and that good moment of having sex.
It is not the same at all, because there's that constant doubt. And if one person feels it, the other person feels it, and it's...
And exactly, if you are someone like me who knows that, who doesn't want children, like, it would like fuck up my life completely. Definitely. So it's gonna be much easier now.
Definitely. Begard, fucking legend. How old is he?
21.
21, mate. How old are you?
26.
Nice. Good cradle snatcher. That's really good.
And he even booked the vasectomy before he met me. So many people claim that I forced him because I just want to fuck.
That's a video told there. I got my boyfriend, I had a vasectomy, I was like, fuck. That's really good. You gotta do it. That's a video there. That's hilarious.
So, another question I have for you. Do you have any advice for people who are vegans and who are struggling to find a vegan partner for themselves?
Get on YouTube. Get on YouTube. Definitely. That is the biggest thing. You know, hypothetically say, ask the question, would Frehley or myself have an issue of finding partners? Would Frehley and myself have an issue of letting people know we're single? No. Why is that? Because of YouTube. You know, we can just make a video, hey, I'm single, I'll be here tonight this time, let's do a speed dating or whatever. And I'm not saying like I'm, you know, King Dick or whatever, but that's the reality, and that's only because of YouTube. YouTube, people they can do their homework on you. So when they meet you in person, they can have their assessment already made up. Either you're a legit person or you're a crazy person. Now, also on the other side, people can put on a character on YouTube where you can pretend you're a really nice person, but in real life, you're a real fucking asshole. You know? And the same with me, I generally pretend I'm an asshole on camera, but in real life, I'm a bit more legit.
You're completely different to me.
There you go. I paid her to say that.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored, you know it. So, YouTube is the best way to find people. Because you just, that's okay, so number one, YouTube. Number two would be wearing labels. Label yourself. So when you're on the train to go into work, or when you're in the office, or when you're going out on your local run or your bike ride, people who might fancy you now have a little gateway.
At least they have something to start talking about with you.
What would you call that? Like an icebreaker. You know? So always label yourself if you want to find people of similar thing. So someone might walk up to you, some creeper, and you're like, okay, no worries, mate. And you just say, oh yeah, go veg.com, I've got to go too. See you later. But at least you've planted a seed, at least you've done something helpful. So you can't ever be angry with someone approaching you. But always label yourself if you're looking to meet more people. And I label myself even though I'm not looking to meet people, just because I want to spread the message. So get on YouTube, label your clothing. Simple as that.
So another question I have for you, do you ever feel depressed?
Do I ever feel depressed? Definitely. I feel every emotion. I just don't dwell on it. Like, you know, sometimes I might be angry on the computer and I'll like type stuff that I regret, and I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh shit, what did I do? I'll delete it. It's pretty rare, but it does happen a couple times a year. Depression for sure, but I'm quick to change my focus because I realise that my problems are first world problems. Your problems are pretty much first world problems as well.
If you're watching this video and you have access to the internet.
You got internet. So there's people out there today in like Rwanda or certain parts of Southeast Asia where just to walk, to get water or to grow corn, they risk stepping on a landmine. Or there's someone today that actually did step on a landmine and lost both their legs and maybe their penis or whatever. So, and now they're in hospital with not enough money, now they're in debt for another 5 years to pay the hospital bill for stepping on a landmine that they didn't want to step on. So there's all these first world problems we have, like, oh, someone was mean to me on the internet, or someone said this. Often it's about putting it in perspective. You know, it doesn't mean you should be a doormat, but also put things in perspective and just try and find that balance point between just sort of letting things slide versus being a doormat.
And do you also think that it's easier to deal with problems when you are on this lifestyle and
when
you're carved up?
Yeah. So I would say that sleep, water, sugar when it comes to depression. The reason why I don't dwell on depression is attitude of gratitude, but also what helps me have the attitude of gratitude is sleep, water, sugar. When I don't have enough sleep, water, sugar, especially water and sugar, then I'm a bit more like irritable, or like it's hard to feel more gratitude. Yeah. When you focus on what you're grateful for, it's impossible to feel depressed. Ever. If you say, what am I grateful for? Nothing. You say, I'm alive. I can see, I can hear, I can speak, I can taste. You know, I can feel. I have hands, or I have arms, or I have a body, or I am alive. I'm alive. So when you are grateful for stuff, you can feel depression, but you can't dwell on it.
That's true.
What are you grateful for? Change your state. And that's not about denying depression. It's about feeling emotions, but going to stay depressed or negative for longer than 10 minutes or half an hour. What is the point? Like, let's move on. Yeah. So it's not about ignoring your emotions. It's about feeling them, processing them, and moving on to something better, or transmutating those emotions into forward motion and get shit done. That's pretty powerful. Like, so many champions of life have had it really hard, and they're down on the ground. It's like, fuck it, I'm getting back up, and I'm gonna fight on. And yeah, that's what it's about. Just keep getting back up, keep fighting on, have fun.
So another question I have for you, if you would be, for example, diagnosed with cancer, what would you do? Would you try to heal it with a vegan diet, or
definitely.
would you go to any treatment?
I would get off the internet, I'd get off the Wi-Fi radiation, I'd get off the mobile phones, the Bluetooth, all that stuff. I would probably just go somewhere in Thailand, just eat organic fruit, and just live in a waterfall.
You think it would help?
Yeah, because you have no internet, you have less stress, you just like, the radiation's down, the toxins are down, for sure. Fruitarian diet, that's what I'd do.
I think it's really the best treatment for most people who are diagnosed with cancer. Just get away from the civilization, like move somewhere in the middle of a forest, and just like
read
sleep
books.
and relax, eat, vegan diet, and
fruitarian diet, probably, just to speed it up. But again, you gotta look at the reasons why that, So that's what I would do. But most people can't do that because the system's not designed for that. The system's designed for chemo, radiation, cut, burn, poison, surgery, chemo, radiation. Don't treat the cause. We don't know what the cause is. Keep eating your KFC, keep smoking cigarettes, keep having your radiation on your ear all day. So I'd say we've got to look for the causes.
Yeah, and I think also people, once they're diagnosed with cancer, they're like, okay doctor, how you're gonna help me?
Yeah.
They don't want to help themselves. They don't want to change something like any of their habits and actually heal themselves. But because they don't understand that they caused their cancer.
That's true.
Most of the time, maybe not 100% of the time, but they're like, okay doctor, how you're gonna help me?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, we take responsibility of ourselves.
yeah, the responsibility is the main problem.
Doctors can be good for accidents and stuff, but for lifestyle and diet, you often need to look at yourself, what you're doing. For sure.
So another question I have for you, do you honestly think that eating fruit and riding up mountains is the best way how to heal anorexia?
Anorexia, I would say no. I would say it's to be a bad move because fruits are very generally low calorie and they're very slimming, so I would say eating more fat, like peanut butter, and not cycling. Not up hills either. Maybe you could cycle around the block just to get your blood going, but not up mountains. Peanut butter on toast, lots and lots of fats, lots of heavy vegan protein foods like pea protein, just eat 5,000 calories a day. Just regain that weight, regain the hormones. And you'll go through this thing that's called hyperphagia where your appetite is just insane. You're just like, until you reach that point, you're not really healing, in my opinion. I've been anorexic, clinically anorexic, and I've had that hyperphagia where you're eating so much. It's just like not what I mean, like crazy amounts of food. Like, I shouldn't even say crazy, but enough. You're eating enough. Your body just triggers the appetite full on, so it gets enough fuel.
Yeah, like when I came first to this lifestyle, I was just so hungry and I was so happy and excited to eat. I was eating 3,500 and I wasn't exercising. I was having no expenditure at all, but I was just stuffing it in for maybe first 5 months. It was no problem to stuff it in because my body was just so hungry because I was starving it for years.
True. Yeah, that's it. So just eat good food. If you're anorexic, eat more fats. Peanut butter's your friend. And peanut butter's your friend when you're anorexic, definitely. Definitely.
Another question I want to ask, how much greens would you recommend on a raw deal for lifestyle?
Greens, I like lettuce. I like iceberg lettuce. I'd say eat as much as you want. Eat them daily, really. But depends where you are, because in Chiang Mai I can get really good lettuce here from Myanmar, organic lettuce. I just snack on it. I just snack on the organic iceberg lettuce. In Australia, I don't eat that much greens, it's a little bit harder to get the quality I like. But eat your greens, vegetables are healthy. But don't eat them so much that you're avoiding carbohydrate foods, because that's the carbohydrates where you get fuel. The greens can give you extra minerals, that freshness, because greens are always fresh, they're always ripe. So greens, give greens the green light, eat as much as you want, but don't fill up on greens because you won't get enough carbohydrate calories. And some people go, oh, that's good because carbs make you fat. No, if you don't get enough carbohydrates, you can't train, you can't work, you can't change your metabolism if you can't work. So carb up, get it done, eat your lettuce.
Another question I have for you, would you recommend riding up a hill in a talking pace for the maximum fat burn? Because I know for myself that sometimes I go maybe way too hard because I'm just too excited and I enjoy the fast riding, but maybe I'm doing a little bit mistake with this. That
I think you have strong genetics, being East European. The East Europeans have really good genetics most of the time, and you definitely have good genetics because there's something in your head you just like, it's pretty rare. There's a few girls that know, a few guys that know that, but it's very, very rare characteristics. And you definitely have that. So someone like you can handle that, especially in this lifestyle, because you get the sleep, water, sugar. When it becomes destructive is your personality type with stimulants, with under-eating, with drugs, and that's when people can really crash hard. So your go get it fucking done personality is great in this lifestyle because it supports health, sleep, water, sugar, and cycling is really low impact. So it's pretty hard to do too much. You'll know if you're doing too much because you maybe get some saddle sores or your knees a bit sore. In that case, you just take some days off, we'll drop it right back. Listen to your body.
So I got one question from one of my viewers. Can you see any evidence of the meat and dairy industry trying to infiltrate and sabotage the vegan movement? Have you received any offers or threats to stop what you are doing for the veganism?
No, I mean, I think there is definitely shills here. Like, something's going on. Like Dr. Evil, these people come from nowhere and they, I don't know, like, it could be conspiracy theory, it could be shills, it could just be genuine, just legit haters. I've got no proof. It's just suspicion. Who knows? Either way, we just steamroll them every time. But no one's ever come out and said, you know, I mean, I've been sued in the Supreme Court, threats and stuff, but no one's ever been successful.
Yeah.
So we just keep having fun, keep helping people help themselves, save the animals on the planet. That's all we can do.
The
Keep
vegan
serving.
revolution is coming.
Vegan revolution's here.
So another question I have from one of my viewers. I don't own a bike and I have saved $500-ish, live in Adelaide, and is it worth buying the Raid, or am I better off waiting and saving more? I would look at a second hand, but I don't know what to look for. Thanks.
This person's in Adelaide.
Yeah.
And they're asking you from Slovakia and Thailand. That's the power of the fucking internet. That's pretty rad. You know, how rad is that? That's fucking incredible. So I would tell that person to get, is it female, yeah?
I think it's male.
Male. You could get the 2016 Reed Osprey. It's got more compact bars, it's better. Or you could go to the Giant store and speak with a guy called Ashley, and he can maybe point you in some direction. You're probably going to upgrade your bike down the track. So I would say I'd recommend spending more now, because if you can afford it, and if you live in Adelaide you can, just spend more now. You maybe get an extra $1,000 to get like a Giant Defy with 105, or even one of the Reeds with 105 group set, and you'll be glad you did. You'll be glad you did. So stretch the budget, get something with 105, or the latest model Tiagra, 4700, and you'll be good to go.
And the last question for today's interview is, do you ever think that the world will go vegan?
I would love the world to go vegan. I'd fantasize about it. But to be totally honest, I think humans are too fucked up.
We have
So-
to be positive.
What's that?
We have to be positive.
Yeah, like it's, who knows, I'd love to be proven wrong. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to stop fighting. It doesn't mean I'm not going to make more videos and wear more shirts. Like, even if I think it's never for waste. It's like the story of the kid. He's picking up starfish on the beach and he's throwing the starfish back in the water. There's thousands of starfish on the beach. And so this kid's just throwing them in, and this guy's walking along, walking his dog, and he sees the kid and he goes, "What are you doing?" And the kid goes, "Oh, I'm throwing starfish back into the water." And the guy's going,
There's going to be hundreds
"He's
more.
going to be here for the rest of your life. There's thousands of them. You can't save them all. It doesn't really matter." And so the kid goes down, picks up the starfish, and goes, "It matters to this one."
Exactly.
So we could give up and say the world's not going to do it, or we can say we're going to fucking do it anyway. So I'm going to do it anyway.
Like, it's like those people saving, for example, the dogs recently at Yulin Festival. Of course they're gonna eat 9,000 other dogs, but at least for those 100 dogs they were saved. For them it matters.
For a day, yeah, but that's it. So just keep working, keep picking up starfish, keep throwing in the water. It's overwhelming how much work there is to do, but it's better to be part of the solution than part of the problem. Think about it.
Okay, great interview. Thank you.